Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SCL0320. I am back, everybody, for a brand new movie review. So, I don't know how. Well, I do know how, but it was really awesome that it happened. So, whether y'all know it or not, my birthday is March the 20th, and Insurgent comes out. And so I wanted to watch Divergent before that came out because I hadn't seen it yet. But I also heard that it was a pretty awesome movie starring Sean Penn and Idris Elba named The Gunman. This will be coming out that same exact day. And I was like, man, I ain't able to watch both. But I got the opportunity today to actually watch it ahead of everything. And it was a brand new screener. And so I was like, yes, I am there. So I'm going to read y'all a synopsis of the movie. Hopefully IMDb doesn't spoil it for y'all. A sniper on a mercenary assassination team kills a certain member in the Congo of high importance. Terrier's successful shot forces him into hiding. Returned to the Congo a little bit years later, he becomes a target himself. By who, he does not know. I had to skew that, I'm sorry. IMDb just spoils everything. But the movie stars Sean Penn, Idris Elba, Desmond Trisha, Javier Bardem, Ray Winstone, Morel. The movie was actually pretty decent. Like, I actually really enjoyed it on different levels. From looking at it on a scope level, like as far as the visuals and stuff like that, the camera was really sharp. Like, there were certain scenes that when he was going in the Congo or he was going to different exotic locations, even when there was like gunfire going on, like the screen quality looked great. I was in a normal theater. It's HD, but it wasn't like anything like IMAX, but it looked sharp, it looked amazing, and more than anything, the gunfire, like when the shot is actually pulled, like there's one sniper scene, when it's shot, the way the recoil comes back and when you actually hear the pop and when you actually see the impact of it, it was beautiful. And I think that it was one movie that did that really well. It was a really underrated movie in my opinion because of the scope and the way of visuals of it. Was Miami Vice with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell. Like, some of the gun scenes in that were really well done. But I think that what was that movie that just recently came out? I forgot that one. It was where The Lone Survivor. The Lone Survivor has a really great sound quality of the gunfire, and this one was just on par with that because when Sean Penn's character Jim, he's actually going on patrol and doing certain things, and even later on, years later, when he's put into really live gunfire, like, it is really awesome to see. Even the fight sequences, like, I was like looking at Sean Penn, I was like, dude, this dude is jacked. Like, I mean, he was doing stuff like surfing and like carrying himself in a certain way with all different types of guns and just maneuverability. I was like, man, this dude, I don't know how old he is, but like, he's got it as an action star. And I don't think I've ever seen him in too many action movies except for that movie, I forgot the one with Ryan Gosling. I can't remember it. But anyway, he does a really great job. And I mean, just visually, the way that they come off with certain scenes and different locations is just really well shot. It's really beautiful, but the sound quality, I think, was everything. That added a level of scope to it, and the score was done really well, really elegantly for an action movie. So I get that. Actually, the visuals and the sound, like an 8 out of 10. It was really well done. The acting in this one, it wasn't an action-paced movie. I think it was more so along the lines of, you got a main character in Sean Penn, and he's dealing with post-traumatic stress, but more than that is other things that are going on with him. And when he starts dealing with his post-traumatic stress, which really is more than that, I can't say, the visuals for it are interesting because he has to act off of that. We only look from his perception, but then when it looks back in third person, when you're actually looking through him, like what he has to deal with and how he's going between like gunfire to dealing with this and dealing with certain pains, it was really well acted. But I mean, he's just an impeccably awesome actor to start with. But I mean, the physicality that's required for him to be able to do this role was even a whole nother thing because, I mean, some of the things that he was doing, like, I couldn't believe it. So he was going between being like the soldier to dealing with like stress to dealing with all these different other kind of things. They're just really, actually, really well acted on his part, but it wasn't anything eye-catching. Javier Bardem was hilarious in this one. I think that his character, in my opinion, was underused on different levels, but it was like, for the scope of the character, that was it. And Idris Elba, it was the same exact thing. Like, when he was on screen, he was used, and he was able to shine through, but it wasn't like a meaty character like you really thinking. I mean, he was the second character that was, or second name that was on the list of this movie, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I hadn't seen him at all in the previews, and sure enough, I mean, he's not as much into the movie that we really are thinking. But yeah, Sean Penn is 54 years old. Wow. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Javier Bardem, he was still in the show. I mean, as usual, any scene he's in, he just like lights it up. And I mean, his character just, I just didn't like his character, I think, for this one. Ray Winstone, that plays the role of Stanley. He plays kind of like this old soul, old military vet. It was really interesting. Him and Jim, or Sean Penn's character, the way they interacted and stuff like that, it was really well thought out how they did the pacing for it. But I think this is also based on a book. And I'm going to have to probably try to check out the book if at all possible. This was directed by Pierre Morel. He directed Taken. Actually, I don't know if he directed Taken or did he produce it. Yeah, he directed Taken, For Paris with Love, 0 Hour. Now, I think that he also directed District B13. So I can see where all the action and different like sequences and set pieces where that came from, because all those different movies, they had that. But it was like I was looking for this one to be a little bit more meaty on, I guess, on the acting level, not necessarily draw the story, because I knew that the story was going to be kind of a one-sided thing. Now, I guess the acting, I would give it maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. It was decent for what the characters are given. Even the girl that was the main character, Jasmine Tracy, that plays the role of Annie, she did a decent job. She did a decent job for what she was given. As far as the story is concerned, I was hoping to get a little bit more technical. Like, I guess recently I've been looking at like movies like Basic with John Travolta. I've looked at Hunted with Benicio del Toro and Tommy Lee Jones. I was looking at The Fugitive or U.S. Marshals, and the things with all 3 or 4 of these movies are, when you're looking at it, it's not just for the action and the gravitas of what's going on. It's with the main character. The main character has a thing that happened to him that was traumatic, that was messed up, but how he overcomes that is also in the secret. Like, I'm thinking, okay, well, with The Hunted, with Benicio del Toro's character, like when he's going all these issues he's dealing with, like there's a huge backstory there that you don't know. And I think with this storyline, there is a backstory, but it's not as deep or as like well paced or like tricking my mind like I was hoping it really would. But I mean, I liked the story for what it was. I really liked the movie. It was a really entertaining action movie. The movie starts off really with Jim and his character with his team, and they're on a mission. And I can't tell you why or what they're gonna do, but the actions of the team creates a rift in the Congo. And I mean, it goes over the span of 8 years, and after that point, they reap their harvest, but at the same time, they're dealing with all the demons they left in the past, and it's all coming straight down on all of them. And it's really interesting, but I think that at a certain point, it becomes really convoluted in who's really the main villain, because, I mean, it starts off with, I guess, Javier Bardem and his tracking of his character Felix and his interaction with Jim, and then it goes to all different other kind of characters. I think that if they would have centralized it on Javier Bardem being more, I guess that it might would have been even more deeper, but it was good for what it was. It was a good action movie. I would definitely see it again. I don't know if I'd buy it on Blu-ray. So I guess I give the story maybe a 7 out of 10. I actually enjoyed the movie. I didn't have any fault really with the movie. It wasn't really campish at all. I think that more than anything, the characters made stupid decisions in certain senses of what was happening, especially towards the end with Jim's character. But I can't blame Jim's character because of what he's going through emotionally and physically. And a matter of fact, his character is probably one of the smartest ones there. I guess I just wanted more. I wanted more from the characters that have deeper meaning, but at the same time, like, I knew it was just kind of be a good action movie, and that's what I got. So anyway, that's my review for The Gunman. Hopefully y'all go and check it out. Tell me what y'all thought about it. I didn't get to see Cinderella last week. I didn't get to see Run All Night. I maybe get to see that sometime this week. Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like below, and please leave your comments below as well. Joe watched this with me, but he couldn't be with me tonight. And yeah, we're gonna have some more stuff coming with y'all soon. This is SCL0320 signing out. Later, everybody. Bang.